What is better, to work as an employee or to have your own business? Since childhood, I was actually thinking about that, since I was very much affected by social media stating that in order to be successful, you have to become a businessman. You have to open your own business, you have to have lots and lots of employees in order to be cool and successful in this life. And I need to be honest that I actually was very much interested in business since I was a very small kid, and I was reading a lot about it on social media. I am not saying that I was reading actually some useful articles, no, I was mostly reading some biographies of successful people such as Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and other dudes like Mark Zuckerberg, and of course I wanted to become one of them. Since I was a child and I didn't understand that it's actually pretty much impossible to become that successful and that famous, right? So I thought since childhood that I want to open my own business and become millionaire, billionaire and yada yada. I was growing up with this idea for a long time, and the people around me, the young boys, also were thinking about this. We have been discussing these things, we have been discussing the business ideas and what kind of businesses we should open and how can they function, but all of this was of course on a very not deep level, let me tell you that. Yet when finishing the school I decided I want to go to the university, since I have to get some knowledge in order to open a business, since I have to study something and I have to kind of like become a little bit of a professional in some field, and then I will open a business. However, when studying at the university, I went and got an internship at the bank. There I was working in kind of risk department. Then I moved to the big accounting firm. From there I moved to the law firm, and currently I am working in an IT startup firm. And during all of these years, my thoughts and my opinions about owning my own business and my dreams about owning my own business have actually been changing a lot. When I just started my internship at the bank, I was thinking that I actually want to open a business, since I have seen lots and lots of companies having accounts at the bank, and just seeing that really inspired me. And of course I understood that when having a business you can have way more money, right, than by just being an employee at the bank. But then my opinion started to change a lot, since my career started to change a lot, since I was working in the risk departments and then in legal departments and in law firm. I seen lots and lots of problems that businesses face, right? Especially when working in law firms, a company or a person never comes to a lawyer when everything is great in his life. No, person is going to see a lawyer when he have problems. So that is how I started to see that lots and lots of business owners face problems that I have never heard about in my life. They face problems with taxes, they face problems with regulatory stuff, they face problems with different governmental organizations, they face problems with liquidity, they face economic problems, they face lots and lots of different problems, which it's actually very hard to face when you are not a business owner yourself. But what is the most important is that they face the problems which they themselves have never thought even existed, right? So my desire to have a business has slowly been declining since that time, since I realized that it's actually very hard to be a business owner, and that you will most probably be spending way more time working on your business than working with somebody else's business, right, while being an employee. And one more thing which I realized is that in real life not everyone becomes a Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg. Of course I'm not stupid, and I heard and read about it for a long time, that most of the businesses are not successful at all. But then I started to see it in real life, and I realized that yeah, it's actually true. Most of the businesses are actually doing very badly. Like 90% of businesses are doing awful, then 5% of businesses are doing alrightish, and 5% of businesses maybe are doing something feeling good, and only 0.001% of businesses is actually ultra successful, and the business owners are driving with Lamborghinis and having other fancy lifestyle things in their life. So what I want to do today is I want to talk about pros and cons of being an employee and a business owner, since I'm still thinking about maybe opening my business one day, but as I said, I am not as sure about that, and my actually will to do so is declining slowly every year. And we will begin with the pros of being an employee. The first one is of course stability. You know that you have this job secured, especially if you live in Europe, if you live in the US. Oh guys, I'm not sure how you are living there, since all of these things that I am reading about the US online are pretty scary to me. Actually, that you don't have lots of paid holidays, that you don't have maternity leaves, and that you don't get paid if you get sick, and yada yada. That's actually says a lot about the US, since the US it seems to be the country of entrepreneurs, and Europe is more of a stable place for the employers, and I myself live in Europe, so yeah, I would say that while you are an employee, you have lots of stability. You know that every month you will get a paycheck. You know a precise sum which you will get at the end or at the beginning of each month. You know that if you will get sick, you will have your benefits from the state and from the company. You know that if you will want to, just stop working, you can just, say to your employer, hey man, I just want to stop working from the next month, I will not be working here. And yeah, you have nothing that actually attaches you to this employer. So yeah, you have a freedom to leave the workplace. Another thing is which actually connects us to another thing, which is a pro of being an employee, is that you have less responsibilities. Even if you are a manager at some company, you still are responsible only for your certain set of things that you're responsible for, right? For your duties. You are not responsible for running the whole business. And even if you are a CEO of the company, you're like an employee, not the founder, right? You are actually also responsible only to the extent, since it's not your business. So if you are a C-level executive, of course you have more responsibility than an average employee, and today I want to concentrate actually on the average employee responsibility. So yeah, let's say you're just an average Joe, you're an average manager in a big corporation. Yes, you have responsibility to perform your duties on a good level, which is great, but you are not responsible for the whole company. You are not responsible for paying the salaries to everyone. You are not responsible for providing them with stability. You are not responsible for the liquidity of the company. You shouldn't be thinking about all of this stuff. You shouldn't be thinking about legal problems of the company. You just work your 9 to 5, then you go home, and after logging off your work computer, you are actually you're free to go. You shouldn't be thinking about your job. Which leads us to the work-life balance, right? If you have a normal employer, you most probably will have a work-life balance. So you will have a time dedicated to working, and then you will have a life dedicated to other things in your life, such as family, hobbies, or maybe other job, depends on your, of course, life circumstances. But yeah, you will have a work-life balance while you are an employee, and of course the learning opportunities. Since it's less risky to be an employee, since you have less responsibilities and the work-life balance and the stability in some regard, you will also, due to that, have a learning opportunities, and you will be actually learning without risking anything. You will be working and learning while actually getting money, and you will be learning some valuable skills which you will be able actually to then somehow use in your life. And while learning those, while working, you will also get paid. How cool is that? I think that's pretty awesome. And now let's talk about the cons, of course, of being an employee, about disadvantages. The first one is, of course, the limited control. You will most probably be occupying some sort of a position, you will have some limited duties, and you will be responsible for these duties only. Your possibilities to grow out of these duties and do something else will be actually very limited. Of course, you could have a great manager who will be actually helping you to grow, and of course you will be growing in case you will actually want to grow, but in general, you have a limited control over your career, and not only over your career, you also have a limited control over what you can and cannot do at work. You have limited control of when you will be starting your workday and when you will be finishing it, whether or not you will be working on Fridays or on Saturdays, right? All of this will be dictated by an employer, of course. And the next thing, which is a disadvantage, is the income cap. Your salary is most probably capped, especially if you are not working in sales and fields similar to the sales, right? You will have a salary which will be paid to you a precise amount every month. On the one hand, it's a stability. On the other hand, it's an income cap. You will most probably not be able to make more money each month by just trying harder, right? So that's kind of a minus of being an employee. And last but not least, especially for some of us working in the companies which we don't like, is the office politics, right? I personally very much enjoy the office politics of my current employer, but I heard from some of the people that, yeah, those could be a pain in the ass. So you could have the office politics, which will be actually against your all of your wills, and you will have to wear the things which you don't want to wear at work. You will have to be attending some sort of meetings which you actually never wanted to attend. You will have to be talking to the clients in some certain way, right? And that's not the worst that can happen to you, right? So different offices have different office politics, and the thing which I find very, very funny is that you can be working at one company, right? You can be working somewhere, learning to do some stuff for this precise company, right? And there you will have one office politics, for example, on how to do a precise duty, let's say how to draft the contract. And you will spend 5 years working in this company, learning how to draft the contract. After 5 years, you will most probably consider yourself to be kind of an expert in the field of drafting contracts. And you will change an employer. You will go to another firm also to draft contracts, and you will be trying to draft the contract in accordance with the rules which were in your previous workplace. And in the new workplace, they will tell you, what the hell are you doing? You are doing everything wrong. Are you an idiot? And at that moment, you will realize that actually everything is so fragile in this corporate world that it's actually impossible to predict whether or not you are doing something wrong or good while working in one employer and then switching to another. Yeah, so the office politics can be very bad for you in one way or another. And now let's talk about the pros and cons of being actually a business owner, right? Let's begin with advantages. The first, in my opinion, is the freedom and control. You are actually free to start your working day when you want to start it, and you can control your work day, your work week. But the thing is, you will also have to control other people if you have employees. But let's say it's an advantage. And from that, actually, another advantage is appearing is that you have potential for higher earnings. The only limit is the sky, and of course, your knowledge. So the potential for high earning is actually huge. You can actually do lots and lots of things to improve your earnings every month, but at the same time you are at risk of losing everything, but we will talk about that later. So you have a potential of actually making more money in case you will be putting more time and effort into your work, which is pretty cool, and I think it's very it could motivate lots of people to do these things, right? So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And another thing is tax benefits. When you're an employee, you will be paying lots and lots of taxes. You will be paying a whole lot of taxes. You will be paying the income tax, the social tax, and lots of other taxes depending on your country. But if you're a business owner, you can actually have lots of tax benefits, such as just you will be just paying yourself the dividends, right? And you will be dividends will be taxable only with the income tax, and no social tax will be applicable to those in some countries. It of course depends on your country tax system, but in general, yeah, it's more beneficial to receive your money as a business owner since those are taxed less. And the last but not least is a very phantom thing, which is legacy building. For some of us it's important, for some of us it's not. Some will say that it's actually very important to build something which will stay at this planet after you will die, something that you will leave to your kids, right? You will build a company, name it after yourself, and it will exist longer than you will exist. Some of you will say that's actually very cool and important, and I will agree with you. But some of people will say that you will die anyways. Who cares what happens after you die? And they will actually also be pretty right in their judgment, right? So the legacy building is also kind of an advantage, right? I don't see anything bad about it. So you are actually not just working to get the money when you're an employee, right? But you are working towards building something more than just a money-making machine. You are working to make history, let's say that. And the cons of being a business owner are very certain. First of all, it's of course the financial risk. You can default at any time, at any moment. You have lots and lots of risks and problems that you can actually face. And as I said before, you can face problems that you have never known existed, right? You can forget to pay the tax which you never knew about. You can forget to submit a paper to the regulator about the thing which you never heard about, and then you will receive a huge fine for that. And you will have to somehow deal with that, most probably by cutting away your own profits, not the salaries of your employees. So yeah, you will be facing lots of risks, and the most painful one is the financial, of course. There is an uncertainty, which leads, to the another con, the uncertainty of income, right? During 1 month, you can get a huge chunk of money since you worked a lot and good, but next month you can actually lose money since you are not as lucky as in the previous month, so you will be losing money just because you don't have enough clients or because something went wrong, and yada yada. So the uncertain income is actually a very huge disadvantage, which also leads to stress and pressure. While you are responsible for so many things, you're responsible for the financial stability of the company, you're responsible for paying salaries to the employees, you're responsible for all of the regulatory risks, and yada yada yada. Even if you somehow delegate these duties to other people, if you're a company owner, if you're the majority shareholder and director, you are still very much responsible for all of these things legally. So it will create lots of stress in your life and lots of pressure in your life, since the workday is not gonna end when you will be leaving your office. No, by no means it will be. Your workday will be kind of endless, right? You will be thinking about your job at night and day. You will be actually stressing about it. It of course depends on your mindset. There are people who are running multi-billion companies and they're feeling less stressed than an average Joe working his 9-to-5 job. But let's say that in general, you will most probably feel way more stressed while being a business owner and trying to run a business than while being an employee. And that is something that I wanted to say about disadvantages of being a business owner. So my conclusion regarding all of the things which I said is that it's actually better to be an employee, since you will have more stability, in some cases even same amount of money, since nobody is promising you that if you will open a business you will be earning lots of money, right? Nobody is actually saying that you can open a business and make less money than you earned while being an employee. And that's unfortunate, but that's alright. What I'm saying is that you should be an employee, and at the same time you should be trying to kind of generate wealth through some kind of hobbies and side hustles, right? Let's say you are working as an accountant, but at the same time you love painting, right? So just do it in your free time and then start a YouTube channel about painting and sell your paintings. Maybe one day you will make actually enough money and even more than enough money to leave your job, since we are living actually in a very fantastic timeline when we can generate money through the internet, which is actually pretty insane. So yeah, that's my conclusion, and that's what I'm actually trying to do. I'm an employee, a proud employee, and at the same time I'm doing what I love. I am filming YouTube videos, and you can open my channel and see that there are lots of them there. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I'm kind of growing my audience. It's happening slowly, but yeah, the audience is actually increasing, and everything is happening. So yeah, that's my way of living this life. Let me know in the comments what do you think about all of that. Whether you think it's better to be an employee or a business owner, and what have you decided for yourself, what are you doing with your life, and of course, do not just write what is better. Write what is better, and then write your thoughts on that. Why do you think so, right? And of course, if you want to speak with me, if you want to write something about my videos and maybe discuss them in depth, you can join my Discord server. Link will be in the bio. I will be very thankful if you will join the Discord server. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this and listen to more podcasts. And I will see you very, very soon. Thank you for watching, and bye.